The Vietnam peace talks are continuing here in Paris today against the background of what to do about the release of American prisoners of war. In the United States, sentiment is running high for a complete accounting for all of the POWs and MIAs, those listed as missing in action, before any treaty is signed. The prisoners, men such as these, are Americans who have been captured during the 10 years of fighting in Vietnam. The Undersecretary of State, Conrad Morgan, is the chief American delegate to the talks. This morning, outside the mansion in which the talks are being held, Morgan told reporters that he is optimistic.
Well, I now sincerely believe that the North Vietnamese delegates are dealing in good faith and that significant progress can now be made.
Mr. Morgan, as chief delegate to these talks, are you saying that a final agreement has been reached?
What I'm saying, sir, is what I said. The situation is extremely delicate, but significant progress can now be made. Is that clear? I certainly hope it is, because I would dearly appreciate the ladies and gentlemen of the press getting that straight.
Mr. Morgan, what if Kwang Yin decides to throw new roadblocks into these negotiations?
Well, I suppose we're just going to have to take things one step at a time.
Mr. Morgan, there is one more question the American public deserves to have answered. What about the MIAs, the missing in action? Have you and Kwang Yin discussed that at all?
Well, yes, of course we have discussed that, and we will continue to discuss that question. But as I'm sure you can all realize, that is of such a sensitive nature that I'm not at liberty to go into that question this time. I can only say this, that I'm very hopeful that we will arrive at a solution. One
What the hell are you doing in my room?
American.
You told me to meet you here.
Could have waited in the lobby.
Turn that goddamn
I
thing
really
off.
must be going.
I'm enjoying it.
Mr. Morgan, please, Mr. Morgan, please, we have a statement before you.
Harold's! Harold's, come on, bring that shit in here.
Coming. I'm not as nimble as I used to be.
Nor as coordinated.
Actually, Conrad, I have always been rather clumsy.
When you get that stuff cleaned up, make me a scotch, will you, please?
So the war is over, Mr. Undersecretary. You're practically a national treasure.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, which son of a bitch is that?
To cut his balls off.
Give Harold a pair of scissors.
The time's right. I'll do that myself.
Sounds like your private meeting with Kwang Yin was what you guys in state called a frank discussion of the issues.
The hell is this, Saunders? Some kind of a joke to you?
You could say so.
It's not to me.
Well, somebody's got to take it seriously.
I told them I didn't need any goddamn CIA help on this thing. They shoved
me down their throat.
Anyway.
We've been through this before, Morgan. Now, what the hell is it this time?
How many of your CIA people are the VC holding?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Say that bullshit for Congress. How many?
150, maybe. Why?
They're dead.
I take it the fact that we have positive information to the contrary is irrelevant.
He wants a sacrifice.
Speak intelligibly, Morgan.
As the addendum to the peace terms, Kwang Yin wants a sacrifice.
Call Omaha and get a flock of sheep.
Means he's lost a lot of family to you people. I also think this isn't important, of course, but I think he's a psychopath.
It makes him unique in this business, doesn't it?
In any case, we agree to write off those people as missing in action. They agree to call off the war and give us a lot of other people back.
And you agreed?
I didn't agree to anything.
You practical son of a bitch. You're going to cash in those people's lives just for a shot at the Nobel Peace Prize.
Saunders, don't get sanctimonious with me. Nobody's going to win anything when this war's over.
If the VC want them dead so bad, why don't they just kill them? Well, they won't kill them because they're worth too much as a bargaining point.
Wrong. They'll kill them just as soon as they sign the treaty. Or they'll hold them as MIA till they're through interrogating them. In any case, what I'm trying to say, Saunders, we have to at least try to get some of those people out of there.
I'd hate to think I've been misjudging you, Morgan.
That would be unfortunate. Now, what do you call those commando people you're holding under the Phoenix umbrella?
Black Tigers.
Who the hell thinks up names like that? Black Tigers.
Actually, a group of us did, some years ago. Don't let anybody kid you, Harold. It's a great name.
Can they get your people out?
I don't know. It's very risky business. Take at least a couple of weeks for an operation like that.
48 hours.
48 hours. Right. What about staging a major operation in the middle of your peace talks?
I'll worry about the diplomacy. Saunders, I get the feeling I'm offending some sensibility in you. The American public is crying for peace. I intend to achieve it for them.
Like I said, you're practically a national treasure.
Saunders, when this war is over, you should get a job as an advance man for cancer.
In support of the disease or the cure?
I sometimes find it difficult to understand the American custom of joking during the time of crisis. How certain are you of your intelligence?
To be perfectly honest with you, Major Men, the only thing certain about intelligence is uncertainty.
As usual, you're a big help. This better be as important as your boys at headquarters said it was. Let's go, man.
Now, what do you think Pencil's got to say when we come walking in there after him?
He's going to say you came a long way, Fred, to collect your bread. Is what he's going to say.
You better believe that, baby.
What makes them think Hanoi will sit still for this kind of stunt?
It must make some kind of sense, or they wouldn't be sending us out to do it.
One camp, what good could it do? The POWs and dozens of camps.
It's the camp with the most guys in it, man. It's the best we can do.
I do not see how a raid at this time can do anything but harm the negotiation.
Well, ladies, I'm going to turn you on.
Major, I thought the goddamn war was over.
So did I, but it's not. So what's your point?
The point is, Major, we don't want to be the last guys killing this friggin' war if there's someone else available.
Yeah, I think they got us down for second to last. Jesus Christ, whatever happened to the good old days when Randolph Scott and John Wayne were happy to have their asses blown off for the good old U.S. of A.
Who the hell is Randolph Scott, man? Randolph Scott Keys. Dude who wrote the national anthem. Oh, that Randolph Scott.
You guys can joke if you want, but I've got a score to settle myself.
Oh, that's the spirit, Gordy. An ear for an ear.
I told you not to joke around about my ear, didn't I?
Listen, I bet you're going to have a hard time finding an ear that size, Gordy.
Yeah, just give me a couple whole heads and use what I need.
Well, now, what do you know? We're going to go first class. You going to serve coffee, Randolph?
I want Lola Falana to serve me my coffee.
Hey, they're going to move me on his flight.
Yeah.
Goddamn thing will start.
Yeah! Come on! Get out! Move out! Let's go! Come on!
Come on, Goody. Come on, pal. We got to run.
What we got it, Mike? Are we late to the train or something?
Where the hell are the choppers?
The choppers aren't here. Why don't we take the train?
Radio.
Nighthawk, this is Tiger 1, over. Nighthawk, this is Tiger 1, over.
Somebody's gonna pay for this screw-up.
I think I know who.
Yeah. Us.
Nighthawk, this is Tiger 1. We're at LZ and waiting for pickup. Over.
I don't get it.
Everything went wrong by the numbers. And that takes planning.
the hell are you talking about?
I'm saying we've been set up.
Gee.
Where are the choppers?
I just told you, Gordy. It was a screw-up.
I like choppers. They're like birds. You like birds, don't you, Mike?
Sure I do, Gordy. Sure I do.
Where are the choppers? I like choppers. They're like birds. I shot a bird once, and my daddy took my rifle over.
Take care of it, Mike.
What do we do now?
Survive. Leave the point. Walk at the rear.
Where you going, Mike?
Going home.
What are we gonna do? Walk out?
You spot a taxi. Flag it down.
How'd it feel?
A hell of a lot better. Let's lean her out. I'll give her another try. I think our troubles with this baby are just about history.
You spend one more minute with this car, I think that baby down there is going to be history.
Damn. Can you believe I forgot all about her?
Any man who forgets something like that needs a lube job and oil change real bad.
I can't wait to get her on the rack.
God damn it, Booker. What's a girl have to do to get your attention?
I'm sorry, Kelly. Oh, yeah. You're really gonna be mad. I've got a class to teach in 1 hour.
Come on, Booker. Get in.
And so as history slowly places it into some kind of perspective, a few things about the Vietnam War have become clear. It was a war that never should have begun, and a country we never should have entered. And its thousands of victims died without really understanding why. Mainly because the reasons for the war were beyond any rules of logic. On Wednesday, we'll sing patriotic songs and pretend I said none of the above.
Good lecture, man.
Thank you.
See you, Booker.
Okay. Okay. You're welcome.
I hope you didn't mind my sitting in. Seems a long ways from the 60s, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Can I take you to lunch?
I don't eat lunch. Who are you?
Let me take you to dinner and find out. You do eat dinner.
I've been known to.
I'm on an expense account.
You're a reporter.
Why else would I fly all the way out from Washington to see you?
I don't know.
Pick me up at 7?
7's too late.
For us.
For dinner. How about 5:30?
At 5:30 in Washington, they're still out to lunch.
In Washington, they're always out to lunch. Besides, I have a feeling this might be a very interesting evening.
You're the professor, Professor.
That's it, mister. That's a good job. Too bad you weren't born black. There might have been a future in this for you.
Hey, mister. Got your newspaper. 19 and 25.
Thank you, my man.
Quite a car. Not exactly ideal for going from stoplight to stoplight, is it?
Not unless they're a couple hundred miles apart.
Pretty much for a grad student.
I do some test driving, and like a damn fool, I took the car instead of the salary.
Bitch, what the hell's going on?
Hey, take it easy, man. The accelerator pedal's stuck.
What?
I said the accelerator pedal's stuck.
Then why the hell didn't you kill the engine?
Because I thought I could kick the pedal loose.
What the hell was that all about?
I wish I knew.
I think I need a drink.
Any place in particular?
Your place. As long as you drive carefully. I'm most rest of your day is usually as exciting as this one?
Not quite. But I've got a feeling things are about to change. You've got something to say it.
You were on a top secret mission to rescue some POWs at the end of the war. No response?
I get it. You're writing a book about the war.
Something like that. When you arrived at the camp, there were no POWs, only Viet Cong. You lost most of your men.
I wonder who told you about that. It was all top secret.
Shall I go on?
Are you married?
After the raid, you were to be met and flown to safety by helicopter with the POWs. The helicopters didn't show. So you marched out of the jungle with 5 of your men.
Do you fool around?
It took you 3 weeks to get out of the jungle. Then you were, as they say, debriefed in a hospital for 2 months. Nothing was ever printed about that strange sortie. Why not?
How about something to eat?
Whatever happened to those POWs who weren't there to be rescued? Have they been returned? Are they MIA? Are they dead? Will anybody admit that they ever existed? Will you answer to any of those questions?
Now, what can you do with 1 egg?
Watch out. Nice selection. We can saute these.
I tried it once. I didn't like it.
How about some frozen halibut? Your unit was a part of Operation Phoenix. Its job was to neutralize, I believe they called it, to the Viet Cong undercover agents. You were also assigned to rescue our own POWs.
You're very intense for a girl with such...
How about 1 egg with oysters and sauerkraut?
Hmm.
Are you going to tell me anything?
There's really not much to tell. In the hospital, they told us the VC intelligence had cracked our security. Reasonable possibility. They said our choppers had been shot down. Reasonable possibility there. Then they said that by the time they got replacements to us, there was nothing but bodies. That's what they said.
And like an obedient soldier, you believed them.
In the hospital, I told myself the war was over. I lived through it, and I put it behind you. I could spend years trying to find out if somebody set us up. And if I found him, well, it most likely would be someone I couldn't get to anyway.
What if he were someone you could get to?
I decided not to waste my life to avenge something I'd survived. It's over, and I want to keep it that way.
I don't believe you really feel that way.
Why are you asking all these questions?
I can't tell you.
Then stop asking them.
I met a man at a cocktail party in Washington. He was what the newspapers refer to as a high-ranking government official. He was also very, very drunk. The scotch seemed to break some barrier in his mind. He mentioned the Black Tigers.
How's the sauerkraut coming?
Coming nicely, thank you. John T. Booker, a man taking his PhD in political science, who used to be a member of the CIA. Sounds schizophrenic.
I was never a member of the CIA.
The Black Tigers were CIA.
I didn't know the Freedom of Information Act was that effective.
It isn't. But I am. What do you think of Conrad Morgan being named Secretary of State Designate?
Nothing.
Doesn't interest you, huh?
I'm only interested in finding out what you're not telling me.
Who's going to tell who first? What he or she isn't telling. Bad dream?
Yeah.
What? You don't sleep well, do you?
No.
I don't either.
I keep you awake?
I didn't mind.
I'll make it up to you.
You already have. How do you turn this goddamn thing off? Why does anyone who doesn't sleep well have an alarm that sounds like Big Ben that can't be turned off? Where are you going?
To run.
I run too.
Well, come along.
I think I had sufficient exercise last night. Breakfast?
If you can find anything.
Of course, you don't eat breakfast.
I'll see you in exactly 27 minutes. When I get back, we can talk about breakfast. Maybe. Hey, Mary. Why don't you get an honest job?
What? Give up my cloak and dagger? John, I have to talk to you. Pull over. Gas is expensive.
I know better than to ask where you've been, but that cigar smells like pure Havana.
Fringe benefits. John, what did you and Marilyn talk about?
Do I know her?
The reporter who seems to have more answers than questions.
You wouldn't be talking about a writer named Margaret, would you?
She told me Marilyn. Next guy will get Myrna or Marilee. She's obviously in the M's. Now, what did you tell her?
I told her about a long walk I took a couple years ago. What did you tell her?
Somebody told her more about that mission than even you and I know.
The scar's ugly, but it's healed.
Well, it's about to be reopened.
Operation Sandstone. I don't recall that one.
There was no Operation Sandstone. You see that line with the DA on it? That means that sometime during an operation which never happened, it was confirmed that you were a double agent. See that sanction authorization one?
There's a contract out on me.
Correct.
Why?
I suspect that reporter found out something she shouldn't have. Now, what did she tell you?
She said someone talked to her about the mission. I didn't want to hear about it.
That's why ostriches die young. Now, whoever talked to her has evidently decided to rectify his error.
Well, who the hell can get into this machine and put out a hit on me?
Only the president, the secretaries and a few undersecretaries of defense and state, the directors of the FBI, the CIA, the chairman of the National Security Council, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Thank God it's nobody important. Jesus, this is crazy.
It's not just you, John. I had reason to check out all 5 of those guys who came out of that jungle with you. Holly Washington is dead. I think Lou Goldberg is, too.
Was it your people?
I don't know.
Well, find out.
Look, first I get a tip on Holly and Lou. Then I meet a girl who knows more about that goddamn raid than anyone should. Then there's the fact that I'm the one that sent you on it. Now, it isn't on that computer, but it's a goddamn good bet that my name is on that hit parade along with the rest of the Tigers.
Well, can't you warn them? Protect them?
You can. Last known names and addresses.
Man Band 2? What the hell is his name doing on here? He was killed on that last raid.
Evidently not. First listed as MIA, then POW, released at the end of the war. And we obviously paid him off by bringing him into this country. He's cooking for some Peking-style restaurant in San Francisco, specializing in fried dumplings.
That's great. What else do you know that you may have forgotten to tell me?
There is something, but I just can't remember what it is.
Well, that helps a hell of a lot.
Look, John, there's a lot I can't help you with. The company has too many eyes. So you're gonna have to warn those guys yourself.
This is my life you're screwing with, Murray.
It's mine too, friend.
Met his uncles.
And in Washington, Secretary of State designate Conrad Morgan goes before his final Senate subcommittee hearing this morning. Morgan's approval by the committee is virtually certain. At 41...
Hey, Gordy. Hey, Sammy. How you doing? Not much business today, eh? You doing any?
No, business isn't too good. It's Major Booker, Gordy. John T. Booker.
I thought you were Sammy. You look just like Sammy.
Has anyone been to see you in the last few days? Has anyone asked you about that last mission?
What I wish we had is pelicans instead of seagulls.
Who asked you about the last mission, Gordy?
Just yesterday. A lady, maybe today. I told her about the pelicans.
How was the halibut?
Who the hell are you?
That's the lady, mate.
Where are we going?
Skiing. Maybe we can get to Mike Potter before they do.
But I've got a rental car.
You're on an expense account. Don't worry.
I don't have any ski clothes.
We'll get something.
Want some?
No, thanks. Is it occupied?
Go find out. Number 1 or number 2?
The window seat, last row, left side as you go down the aisle, in Oriental. See if you recognize him.
Looks like a waiter in a Chinese restaurant I used to frequent in Des Moines.
I'll bet Chinese food in Des Moines is something to remember.
Is he following us?
I'm not sure yet.
Maybe it's that waiter. I don't think I tipped him last time I was there.
Who did you talk to at that cocktail party in Washington?
Please don't ask. I'm almost certain I'll lie.
Your attention, please. Will all passengers hold tickets for Intermountain Flight 184 please contact the agent at the Intermountain ticket counter? I repeat, will all passengers holding tickets for Intermountain Flight 184 please contact the agent at the Intermountain ticket counter? Final call. Flight 2 is now boarding at gate number 21.
So much for that. When you're silent, you're silent. What are you thinking about?
Old friends. Men. That guy on the plane was men.
Major Min Van Tu? Another black tiger.
What don't you know? What did you talk to him about?
I never said a word to him in my life.
What about Murray Saunders?
I don't know any Murray Saunders.
You were someone named Marilyn.
That Murray Saunders.
What did he tell you?
Nothing.
Just in time.
For what?
The snow's melting fast.
Is Mike Potter in? He's on the ski patrol.
Mike, no. Try his house. I'll dial it for you. Do you want to take it over there?
He's not in.
Tomorrow's his day off. He's jump crazy. He'll be on the jump first thing in the morning.
We better spend the night. Do you have a room?
Yeah, I think so. You want to fill this out?
To what extent are we speaking to each other?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was wondering, for instance, if we're speaking enough to share the only bed in the room.
Sure, we can share the bed.
Any enemies out there?
I'm just as worried about the enemy within. Are you an enemy, Margaret?
No.
You just happened to be there when Gordy was killed today. Were you there when Lou and Holly got it too?
No.
Are you some kind of finger man for whoever's doing this?
Finger person. John, I haven't lied to you.
Including last.
So do you.
Mr. Morgan, I want to thank you for the cooperation you're affording this committee by your appearance here today.
Well, thank you, Senator. And I want to assure you and the other members of the committee that I fully understand the necessity for hearings such as these. And I want you all to feel free to probe into any areas at all that might be of interest to you.
I'm sure I can speak for the entire committee when I say, sir, that such an attitude is deeply appreciated. Because, you know, we've had to deal with...
Think you'll make it?
Morgan?
Yeah.
I know just what
Oh,
you mean.
yes.
I've
He's
dealt
the
with
new darling of Washington.
I'm sure you have.
The attitude of the nation today is far different from what it was in those early days before Vietnam. I think the American public today is far less eager to be...
We better get going.
Foreign adventures of doubtful advantage.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Squaw Valley, USA. After being selected as the site of the 1960 Winter Olympic Games, the entire Squaw Valley complex was developed into one of the world's greatest ski areas at a cost of over $25 million. We're now standing at the lower terminal on one of the world's most spectacular aerial tramways, and the terminal alone cost over $3.5 million, 1960 dollars. This area is the gateway to Squaw Valley. 5,000. Setting for all kinds of buildings. What snow we had this year is now melting rapidly. So as we approach the top station, we advise you to hurry out to the slopes and make the most of what's left. On behalf of Squaw Valley, USA, I'd like to thank you for joining us and have a happy day.
I'm looking for Mike Potter. You got him. Major? What the hell are you doing up here?
Didn't you get my message?
You mean the code red? I thought that was a gag.
All right, Mike, you're up.
Let's go in the shack. We've got to talk.
Meet me at the bottom. Bring these with you.
Mike, wait. Mike.
Jesus Christ, I thought I'd never find you. There were cops all over the place up there. I've got your clothes. You can change in the car. Are you all right? It was Min, wasn't it?
The woman he met at the airport.
I'm sorry about Mike.
Yeah, but there you were, right on the scene again.
I'm not the enemy, John. I told you that last night. I think we'd better talk.
Tell me.
Edgar Harold.
Childhood sweetheart?
A drunk at a cocktail party.
Who is he?
Undersecretary of State. A career man at the end of his career, maybe the end of his rope.
God damn it, who are you?
Edgar Harold's worked for Conrad Morgan during the Vietnam War, and he hates his guts.
Morgan. On the TV?
The Senate does more than question a man who's nominated for Secretary of State. Before Watergate, it was generally a formality. Now they do a pretty thorough job of it. They even hire attorneys to investigate.
What does that have to do with you?
It's actually pretty funny. I was invited to a cocktail party by the head of the committee. Just a social event I'd barely started to work for.
You're a lawyer? An investigator?
I'd been standing for hours when I noticed this man sitting all alone at a table. He looked pleasantly drunk and harmless. I went over and sat with him.
Is Morgan mixed up in this?
I don't know. Harold's never mentioned his name, but it seems to me there's a connection.
The papers keep saying that his approval is assured. How can that be if you told the committee
I
about...
never told the committee anything. You don't survive in Washington by attacking men like Morgan without substantial facts. I simply said I wanted to follow up on some leads, and they said go.
So the committee knows nothing about this?
Not yet. That's why we're taking the first plane east.
That could take days. I have to get to Joe Walker in Mexico. He's the only man left.
You're left. And I want you to stay alive. For personal reasons. You believe me now?
Your attention, please. Will all passengers holding tickets for Intermountain Flight 184 please contact the agent at the Intermountain ticket counter?
Is there any space on 322 to San Francisco and Washington?
Yes, ma'am. Round trip or one way?
A round trip. You'll need it. Back to L.A.?
You heard the man.
Make mine one way to L.A., please. Next flight out?
Final call. Flight 2 now boarding at gate number 21.
How about a farewell cup of coffee?
Why not?
Oh, you'd better hurry. They're beginning to board.
Flight 300 from San Francisco and intermediate cities now arriving at gate 10.
My damnedest to get them to delay the confirmation, but I'm going to need you there to stop it. If Harold's will talk.
I'll be there day after tomorrow.
Flight 62 now boarding at gate 21.
That's me. You gonna wave goodbye?
I have to turn in the rental car.
Oh, God, I left one with a meter running in San Diego.
The committee will love you. They can ask for a bigger car rental budget next year. Don't worry about us taxpayers.
Bye.
please. John T. Booker calling Murray Saunders.
In the terminal area are asked to clear all gates and entrances to the field so that emergency workers and equipment will be able to get through. Please obey the commands of the airport guards and police officers so that rescue workers may perform their duties as efficiently as possible. I repeat, there is no danger to the terminal area. Thank you for your cooperation.
What are you doing with that gun?
Harold's. Jesus Christ, I should have figured it out. In Paris. It was a setup all the way. That's what Harold's was trying to tell Margaret. John, are you okay?
Yeah, thanks. She wanted me to talk to him and get the proof we need. I think our next stop is Washington. Are you sure you've got Walker covered? I still can't figure out why they suddenly decided to kill us all off.
Maybe Morgan found out that Harold's was about to crack.
Why didn't he arrange an accident for Harold's?
5 will get you 10. There's a damn good reason he didn't.
Let's go ask him.
Morning.
May I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, Mr. Harold's apartment, please.
May I have your name?
We want to surprise him.
I'm afraid we're not allowed to surprise our tenants. Even if you were J. Edgar Hoover himself, I couldn't allow you upstairs.
It's not likely he could be Mr. Hoover if he wanted to. Not only is he the wrong color, but Mr. Hoover's dead.
I'm sure you get my meaning.
Oh, yes, we do. We want to make sure you get what we mean. You see, my friend here is very cranky. In fact, I'd say he's on the very edge of anger. And in about 5 seconds, I'm going to ask him to kick your teeth in if you don't show us the way to Mr. Harold's apartment.
Very well. Follow me.
He must have good teeth.
Remember what happened the last time a Washington apartment was broken into for political reasons. No, think about it. Now, it altered the course of history.
My friend here's going to alter the course of your nose if you don't show us where the apartment is.
Well, of course, if you put it in that perspective.
Now.
No. There it is, gentlemen.
Shall we ring the buzzer or kick it in?
No, I'll ring the bell.
Yes? Tell him it's you.
It's me, Mr. Harold.
Oh? Louder, you must be sitting.
Albert. Albert, the doorman.
Oh, what do you want?
I've got a package.
But it's all right, Albert. Thank you. You've been quite civilized. Good morning, Mr. Harold.
My vengeance is swift, saith the Lord. Well, I expected it to be swift and very violent. I haven't been disappointed. Since the day you walked out of that hotel room in Paris, I've been wondering if I might not see you again. The fact that you are here now is testimony to your powers of survival.
Well, the test is not over yet. I'd like you to meet John Booker.
Oh, Major Booker, the shepherd of the betrayed flock.
That's what we're here to talk about.
Well, normally I do what I've done all the years I've served my country and feed you a line of shit. But I don't think I'll bother. Perhaps you're doing me a favor. No, Major, there's no one else here. My wife and children had the good sense to go on about their own lives years ago. Do you have a family, Major?
I had plans, but they didn't work out.
Well, perhaps you're fortunate. So this is what I get for having too much to drink and finding a receptive ear. Can you imagine a career diplomat getting drunk and babbling at a Washington cocktail party? You don't get to be an old-timer here without learning not to do that. Unless you're over the hill. An interesting phrase, over the hill. Conrad has been telling me for years that's where I am. He's a brilliant man, Conrad. Most of us think we know what we want out of life. But Conrad is one of those few who knows how to get it. Of course, he learned immediately of my drunken indiscretion. The captured indiscreet remark is a source of power in Washington, a lesson Conrad learned well. I may have been the one who first taught him that. Perhaps I am over the hill. And she is a brilliant young woman, quite lovely. There was something about her. I just wanted to talk to her. But of course you must know that by now, Major. You being the leader of the Black Tigers, I assume she must have gone directly to you. Of course, Morgan assumed the same thing. His efforts to find out just how much you knew and whom you might have told have probably kept you alive.
4 of the men who came back with me weren't as lucky.
My condolences, of course, will seem meaningless. I was there in the beginning. when they invented the Phoenix operation. Do you know what everyone was most upset about? Oh, not the idea that we were consciously structuring a group of men whose purpose was the clandestine murder of other men. Well, not the moral ramifications that might befall us in another life for the decision based on political expediency. Oh, no. What we got most embroiled in was an argument over what a particular group of assassins we decided to call the Black Tigers, what that group of assassins would wear when they went out to relieve selected individuals of their very lives. Well, finally, after a great deal of bitter argument, we determined to dress the Black Tigers in all black. The commission was then paid to a noted designer, who shall be nameless, who designed the black clothing the Black Tigers wore as they rode out on their holy crusades. You made quite a reputation for yourselves.
Mr. Morgan, Mr. Harrells has some visitors. No, sir, I'm not sure. But I think one of the men is Murray Saunders from the Los Angeles office. You want them stopped? Right, and a man on Harrells. You got it.
We were set up.
Oh, yes.
What was the deal?
Well, when I was a younger man, I knew I was going to be Secretary of State, or perhaps even President. If I tell you the answer to that question, I may not even be afforded the opportunity to retire next year with a modicum of dignity left to me. But then I suppose your life is not nearly so inconsequential to you as it is to Mr. Morgan, or even to me. Well,
I hope this letter's the answer.
It's the best shot we've got.
Okay, Saunders, I want that letter.
Listen, Al. Somebody got into that computer, and this letter proves it.
The letter, Murray. Come on, come on, come on.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Get the letter. I'll cover you.
Okay, watch out.
Yeah. 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 Enjoy the fight?
Terrific.
did this guy live halfway to Baltimore?
Who knows? Maybe it has something to do with Spiro Agnew.
It wasn't very hard to get an appointment with the big man.
Well, he's very interested in what he thinks we might have to sell.
Oh, good morning, Saunders.
Good morning, Morgan.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
A gentleman whom I'm sure will add to our discussion.
I see.
John T. Booker.
Well, Saunders, I trust this rather unusual meeting is as important as you indicated. Something I believe you said to do with our last rather unusual meeting in that Paris hotel room.
Something, yes. But with one notable addition.
Coffee?
No, thanks.
Well, can we get on with it? As you may have heard, I have a rather busy day ahead of me.
You made a secret deal in Paris with Quang Yin, the North Vietnamese negotiator.
Secret deals are the heart of diplomacy, Mr. Booker.
This deal called for the murder of the Black Tigers.
Murder, Mr. Booker?
One other American knows about it, and he talked.
Indeed.
At first, I couldn't figure out why you didn't try to kill Harold along with the rest of us. He told me. He sent a registered letter to 4 lawyers, none of whom you know. The letters were to be opened in the event of his, untimely death.
Early Agatha Christie.
And just as effective. The letters explain what was known between you and Quang Yin as the Phoenix solution. I couldn't figure out what Major Min was doing, popping in and out of my life. At first, I assumed he worked for them, whoever they were. But of course, they are you, and you are all one.
Oh, I see. We have met the enemy, and they is us. Comic strip philosophy, Mr. Booker.
Agreed. And now Quang Yin is manipulating you like the comic strip diplomat you are. He waited patiently until the moment of your greatest vulnerability, the eve of your confirmation as Secretary of State. And now he's blackmailing you into completing the deal you never finished. The extermination of the Black Tigers.
Well, they are very unforgiving people.
Toward you or the Black Tigers?
Toward us, Mr. Booker. We is us.
Perhaps.
Interesting document.
Morgan, you're going to pick up that phone and call the White House. Sudden personal problems are going to prevent you from accepting the nomination as Secretary of State. If you don't, the news media is going to have one hell of a time with that letter.
I understand, Major Booker, that you were quite a jungle fighter. Well, this is my kind of jungle, Major. No, I just don't think it would be expedient for me to resign at this time.
Expedient? Just like it was expedient to send us on that POW raid?
Expedience built this country, Major Booker. It was expedient for this great democracy to have legal slavery for half its existence. And it was expedient to keep the vote from women for 150 years. Expedient to declare war on Spain and Mexico and to invade Cambodia. From the halls of Montezuma, Major Booker, to the shores of Tripoli, and it was expedient, goddammit, to get rid of the Black Tigers. The end still justifies the means.
I don't buy that. It occurs to me that most of those who follow your logic end up in places like Elba and San Clemente.
Come now, Miss...
Check your history, Morgan. Most of our expedient wars ended up in failure. Our successes didn't just happen because they were expedient. Those Americans you spoke of gave up their lives willingly.
Does that really make such a difference?
It makes all the goddamn difference, Morgan. People like you never could see that, and maybe they never will. It's not that you don't deserve to be Secretary of State. You don't deserve to live.
Well, now, that's an interesting philosophy, but...
But philosophy is bullshit. Right, Morgan? Well, that letter isn't.
I tell you what. You take this letter over to the Washington Post with my best regards. But you tell them they're going to have a hard time verifying that with Harold's, because visitors are not allowed in the Bethesda Hospital psychiatric ward. This was a shame. Shame. They found him crawling on the floor and howling like a banshee. Took 4 men just to put him into the straitjacket. Nervous disorder, they called it, but actually he's quite mad.
Hello? I'd like to check on the condition of Mr. Harrells, Edgar J. Thank you.
And a letter written by a madman is hardly what they call prime evidence, is it, Mr. Booker? Well, as I told you, gentlemen, I have a rather busy day ahead of me, so if you'll excuse me, I'm sure you can find your own way out. Oh, by the way, Mr. Booker, tragic news about your lady friend, Margaret, was it? All that information she had must have been irreplaceable. Tragic.
You bastard. Wait a minute. Accelerator pedal working all right today? Work for Morgan? Do you?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
You said I was a good jungle fighter. Well, I'm also a fast learner.
All right, now you stop this car, you fool.
Relax, Morgan. We're just going to talk.
All right, go ahead. Talk.
What you said about expedience made a hell of a lot of sense. I see there's only one way to deal with people like you. Expediently. You won all the battles, Morgan, but you're gonna lose this war. How would you like to be an MIA?
What are you talking about?
When it comes time for your swearing in today, you're not gonna be there.
I'll be there.
You're
dreaming, Booker.
Am I?
They're going to come looking for me. You can't just disappear as Secretary of State without arousing someone's ire.
Let them look.
All right, Booker. Go on, tell me, what's your plan, huh?
If you get away with this, Morgan, it'll betray every guy that died in any war we ever had. And God knows how many more people you'll kill in the future. I'm not gonna let it happen.
You're insane. It won't work.
You can bet your ass it will.
You're crazy, you goddamn idiot! Now you stop this car, you hear me? You stop this car, I'm gonna kill you!
You're panicking, Morgan.
Stop the goddamn car!
San Francisco says the Russians are using 250-pound explosive
You okay?
harpoons, which are against international treaties. In Washington, meantime, the State Department has an even bigger headache. Who will be its new boss? Conrad Morgan, who was due to be sworn in this morning, suddenly asked the president to withdraw his name. Morgan himself has been unavailable for comment. He is said to be keeping a low profile in a secret hideaway on Chesapeake Bay. Also unavailable for comment this morning is Morgan's longtime deputy, Edgar Harolds. It is speculated that Harolds might now be nominated for the job, but he is reportedly in the Bethesda Naval Hospital undergoing his annual physical examination. Morgan's withdrawal came as a shock to most Washington.
I see you've had a busy morning, too.
Yeah, but nothing like yours.
كلنا تعبنا، كل الأطفال كل الشباب تعبوا. بكفي عاد بكفي.
وانا شفت قدام عيني اخواتي وهم مرميين على الارض. انا شفتهم اخواتي، بس كان نفسي اشوف كتان ابويا. ما اكتفوش، موتوا ستي وموتوا زينة وموتوا عمي وولادها وابني واختي.
Last night's airstrike by Israel on the northern Gaza area of Beit Lahia garnered significant global attention, with various international media outlets covering the incident from multiple perspectives. Reports indicated that at least 87 people were killed or went missing as a result of the airstrikes, which targeted civilian-populated areas, including health facilities. The event sparked reactions from leaders worldwide, amplifying calls for an immediate ceasefire in the region. ABC News. According to ABC News, the airstrikes resulted in severe damage to communication infrastructure, making access to healthcare nearly impossible. The global reaction has been one of considerable concern, with numerous organizations calling for the protection of civilians. CNN reported that the strikes mainly targeted densely populated civilian areas, leading to significant damage to Gaza's northern healthcare infrastructure. Humanitarian organizations are struggling to carry out rescue efforts due to blocked roads and communication breakdowns. Fox News highlighted that the airstrikes killed at least 87 people, worsening the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The attacks on civilian areas and health centers have sparked widespread international concern. According to NPR, the ongoing siege and bombardment have rendered 3 major hospitals in Gaza non-operational. The network described the situation as reaching the peak of a humanitarian crisis and called for urgent assistance. The New York Times confirmed that the strikes on Beit Lahia resulted in at least 87 casualties, deepening the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and severely impacting the region's healthcare facilities. Democracy Now! As reported by Democracy Now!, the attack in Beit Lahia disproportionately affected women and children. United Nations officials described the situation as an intensification of a nightmare and called for an immediate halt to the airstrikes. Tasnim News indicated that at least 87 people were either killed or trapped under rubble following the airstrikes in Beit Lahia. Rescue efforts have faced significant challenges due to road blockages and communication issues. Al Jazeera reported that the intense airstrikes left healthcare services in Gaza nearly paralyzed. The strikes extended to densely populated areas such as the Jabalia refugee camp, with humanitarian organizations struggling to gain access to the affected regions. According to the BBC, military operations in northern Gaza and the targeting of healthcare facilities have led to a rising civilian death toll. Countries like the United Kingdom, France, and Germany have called for an immediate cessation of hostilities and the protection of civilians. The Indian Express noted that the strikes significantly damaged infrastructure, complicating rescue operations. The disruption of healthcare services has exacerbated the humanitarian crisis. European and global reactions. France, Germany, and the UK joined the United States in emphasizing the need for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. French officials condemned the targeting of medical facilities, calling it unacceptable. The UK's Foreign Secretary called for an end to the airstrikes and emphasized the need for a ceasefire, while G7 nations discussed coordinated efforts to address the escalating tensions. German media highlighted the damage to Gaza's hospitals and healthcare infrastructure, with officials expressing concern over the rapidly worsening humanitarian conditions. In Russia, officials condemned the airstrikes and demanded an immediate halt to civilian casualties, calling the situation a humanitarian catastrophe. Reports from Asia indicated that G7 defense ministers convened to discuss the situation in Gaza, expressing grave concerns over the increasing civilian casualties and restricted access to basic necessities. Conclusion: the airstrikes on Gaza's northern region have significantly worsened the humanitarian crisis, with over 80 fatalities, damage to healthcare infrastructure, and disruptions to humanitarian efforts. The international community continues to call for an immediate end to hostilities and the protection of civilians as the conflict draws widespread criticism. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's affecting millions across the globe: the escalating climate crisis. In recent months, we've seen mega wildfires, flash floods, and extreme heat waves devastating entire regions. But what's driving these catastrophic events, and how are they linked to climate change? Let's break down the details and analyze the broader impact of this global emergency. The climate crisis and recent disasters. Over the past few months, the world has witnessed unprecedented natural disasters. Mega wildfires in Canada, Australia, and the Mediterranean have burned millions of acres, forcing thousands to evacuate. Simultaneously, extreme weather events like flash floods and heat waves have become more frequent and intense, threatening lives and livelihoods. Statements from organizations like Greenpeace and WWF. Environmental organizations such as Greenpeace and WWF have linked these disasters directly to increased greenhouse gas emissions and the continued reliance on fossil fuels. In a recent statement, Greenpeace warned, if policies that accelerate climate change are not reversed, the frequency and intensity of such events will only worsen. Meanwhile, WWF emphasized the need for immediate action to prevent the extinction of numerous species due to rising global temperatures. Scientists' warnings and recommendations. Scientific research indicates that global temperature rises are directly contributing to more severe and frequent weather extremes. Climate scientist Dr. Michael Mann recently stated, "We can no longer view climate change as a future threat. Its impacts are already shaping our world today." His words underline the urgency for drastic measures. IPCC reports and scientific findings. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, has published alarming findings showing that surpassing a 1 in 5 degrees Celsius increase in global temperatures would result in irreversible damage. The report stresses that without substantial reductions in global emissions by 2030, the effects could be catastrophic. Mega wildfires and extreme weather events. Regions such as Siberia, California, Greece, and Italy have faced devastating mega wildfires and other extreme weather events, impacting millions of lives. The economic costs are soaring. For example, wildfire-related losses surpassed $50 billion globally in 2023 alone. Eyewitness accounts from affected regions. In Australia, residents are accustomed to wildfires, but the situation has worsened. A local resident said, "The fire season now spans over half the year. It was never like this before." These first-hand experiences shed light on the severity of the problem, solutions, and future strategies. Environmental experts recommend reducing global greenhouse gas emissions and accelerating the transition to renewable energy. Additionally, Protecting forests and initiating large-scale reforestation projects are suggested to increase carbon absorption and mitigate further damage. Conclusion: the impacts of the climate crisis are becoming more severe every day, and time is running out to reverse the damage. We must act now. By sharing this video, you can help raise awareness about the urgency of the situation. Let's spread the message and work together to secure a safer future. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like and share your thoughts in the comments. What measures should we take to combat the climate crisis? Let us know below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated. See you in the next video.